Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we have a different background. I'm in my sister's room and I'm trying to make up, do a get ready with me video, so stay with me. I'm going to be looking down a lot of time the time because the mirror is down, but then we'll be talking about a few interesting stuff as we do it. In the camera in front and let us get a good look. So yes, I took my pixie cut off. So this is my hair. I've held it to the back, and yeah, this is my real thing. So so I'm gonna make up here my neck, having some pain here, so I have my donut on my neck, and we go. So let's start. So I'm starting by priming my face with my Rimmel primer. I'm going to be sharing the testimony as I do my makeup. Okay, this is my first get ready with me video. Okay, this is the first one I'm posting. I actually did one with a friend, but getting the video to post has been quite difficult. So I thought, let me just do one on my own, and then yeah. So that's what I'm doing right now. Like I said, I'll be looking down a lot. Forgive me. I have to let this donut go. It's disturbing my flow. Okay, after a while I'll wear that. So yes, I just finished priming. So what testimony do I want to share? Let me do that as I put my foundation on. So this is my Superstay foundation in the shade 360. I like to go straight with that on my face. So this testimony is about when I was in the university, and there was this time I was really expecting a miracle with my grades for the semester. I was really hoping that God would come through, make sure that I get all A's that semester, which I had never made before. There was no semester that I had all A's, you know. So I was like, God, this is my last but one semester to finish the university. I need you to come through for me. I need you to come through for me. And I was praying, and I was in AGCM, Assemblies of God Campus Ministry. We had this revival, and we prayed, we sowed. So I was quite hopeful, but you know, just that kind of thing, like you try to give God excuses because you think He might not come through and do the thing for you. So I go like, oh, like even if it doesn't happen, like I trust that God ultimately has a plan and all that. Let me reduce the brightness. It's making the foundation look. So I'm contouring before I highlight with my truffle, illegal truffle. So yes, let me continue with my story. So I was hoping and praying that, you know, God would do a miracle in that semester. I'll get all A's and everything. And I was like in my room this day. God had already given me favor with one lecturer, and so I was in the room and he called me. He said, "What are you doing? Why are you?" I was like, "I'm in my hall." He said, "Which hall are you in?" I said, "I'm in Water Hall," which was not too far from my department. So he was like, "Can you come to the department right now?" I said, "Yes sir, I can." He said, "Okay, I'm almost done with your papers. I'll be uploading your results soon." And I was thinking, okay, so if you're almost done marking our examination papers and you'll be uploading our results soon, why do you need to see me? Like, we're actually done for the semester. What could it be? So I was just thinking to myself that I decided to go. So I'm coming. Don't be worried, guys who are watching this video now. Makeup is quite a messy process, but in the end we come out looking glorious. So I mean yeah. So just blend that out and this well to the eye. Blend it out, blend it out, blend it out, blend it out. I try to blend in circular motion. This is some soft vibe. Doesn't make it harsh. on a highlight. Yeah, so let me continue. So I was thinking, why would he be calling us all those things, you know? What me, why would he be calling me? And he didn't ask me to come with anyone else. But I didn't think any weird like sex and games. No, I didn't think anything like that. I was just wondering. So I got to his office and then he was like, what was I doing? I said, oh, I was listening to a message. I was actually listening to a message, a Joseph Prince's message. I think that message was about something that had to do with purity and addictions stuff. He was explaining sin. He was explaining something that had to do with sin. And then it entered a whole sexual sin dimension or something. Forgot to, I'll find the message and then I'll put the title in the video. So yeah. So I realized that the ring light was making the foundation look like really loud. Wow, that was not the actual thing. So to just give you guys the real look, I decided to put off the ring light, do the entire makeup without the ring light before putting it on again. So yeah, let's continue with the story. I hope you're following me. So what happened was that, yeah, so I highlight with my Fawn LA Girl Fawn concealer, which is almost finished. Just put that at your forehead. There's no particular way to put it there, but girls have been giving some descriptions just to scare me. So that's what I do. Then I go over to my eye, I look up to the sky, I look up to Jesus, the utter and finisher of your faith. And I draw that downwards. I look up again, I put this just up there, and then I draw that downwards again towards the outer point of my face. I don't let it go too much because I don't want my face to look wide. I want my face to look slim. So if you want your face to look wide, because you actually have a really slim face, you can draw it to the outer corner to get into your ear side. But then if you don't want your face to look that wide, you just stop it. So yeah, let me continue the story. So I got to his office and then I was like, oh, I'll just listen to the message. He was like, okay, that's nice. Then he said that I should look through the papers there. I saw marked scripts. He said I should look for my index number and pick out my paper for him. And I was getting scared. I was like, what have I done? My heart was beating, but I was quite confident because I knew I had not done anything silly. I knew I had not copied in the examination because I was going to try to engage in the examination more practice. So I was quite fine and confident. So I just looked for my paper and then I found it. I think I had 70 something, 75, between 75 and 79, because that's what stands for B class in university environment. So I took it out for him and then I gave it to him and he was like, okay. And he asked me to go to a board. There was a white board just at the side. So he said, go to the board. I went to the board and he said, do you see your name, your ID number there? I said, yes sir, I do. And then he said, what's your grade? I said B+. He said, okay. And he said, now come. I went closer to him. He was sitting by his machine, his laptop. And he said, look on the screen. Do you see your ID number? He said, do you see your grade? And I said, yes. And I was like, I'm confused. He said, okay, let me tell you what happened. So apparently, when I looked on the screen, my grade there was an A. While on my paper and on the whiteboard, it was a B+. So I was confused. And then he said, this is what happened. I started inputting the grades. And I took everyone's name. He was like, I always do it meticulously. And I took everyone's paper, I marked it, and I started inputting it. The person before you had an A, so I input A. I took a paper, I realized it was a B+, but when I was inputting it, I put A. When I was done and I wanted to go by it for the last time before so he was speaking. So he said, before I finally upload them onto the system, I realized that I had not put one person's grade. Okay, so before I continue with the story, I just blended out the concealer that I used to highlight. So what I'm doing right now is I want to blend it like even better. So I'm using my flat top brush, my kabuki brush that I had from Yoshi Cosmetics. I'm using that to eliminate the harsh lines that have been created between the contour lines and then the highlighting I have done. So yes, that's what I'm doing now. So you can see that looks quite blended in. And then we'll go to the nose, do that a little bit. Come beneath my nose, do that on my chin. And yeah, so let me continue with the story. Before I continue with the story, so I'm going to bake. I'm using my benign topaz luxury powder to bake. I don't know whether you can see that. But before I bake, I usually like to go in with my setting powder. I got my setting powder from Blossom, but I got it from this shop on Instagram. They're really good. The General Merchants. Yeah, so I buy some of my stuff there because they have original products and they are very affordable. I used to buy from other stores which also had original products, but then their things were a little more pricey. Now, you know, if you're a student and you still want to slay, you have to do it on a budget. So I like to go in with my powder brush, which I also got from the General Merchants. I'll put the name, yeah, it's BS-Marshal brushes. I like the powder brush. It's not too wide like the Yoshi one, so I prefer using their powder brush. I set my highlighter with setting powder with finishing powder first before I put the setting powder. What that does for me is that it does not make me have a lot of creases and it makes the makeup look quite set. Yes, so that's what I do before I actually bake, because you know there's no coming back from baking. So let's continue with the story. So he said he's going to tell me what happened, and then he said when the person before me that he had inputted a grade had an A, so he just typed in the A. When he got to mine, he saw that B class. He was about typing the B class, but then he typed in an A. And when he was done, he went through the thing. He realized that he had not inputted one person's grade. So he took that person's paper and he was trying to do it. But after he had done it, he realized the things didn't add up. So he had to take everyone's paper, go through again and see where the mistake was from. But at that time, because he had already found the missing persons, when he inputted that person's grade, he uploaded the results onto our website. But then when he was looking over the thing, he realized no, he had made a mistake. Let me come a little closer. Okay, let me look down so that let me just put the baking powder, then we can have enough time to just. I like to make sure that is on well. Don't want to look like a scarecrow. Look up. There you go. I don't want this video to be too long, so working on really little time. 10 minutes already. 13 minutes was started. Okay, so yeah, I look scary. So let me continue with the story. My lecturer said, so he was done uploading on the system and he realized that he had made a mistake. So he went through the thing and realized that he had given me an A instead of a B plus. And he was confused because he has never made such a mistake before. He's very meticulous in uploading grades, so he doesn't know like what happened. So he went over it several times and he just realized, wow, like he actually meant to input an A, but for some force in the world, like he meant to input a B plus, but he inputted an A. And at that moment, okay, what struck me about this whole testimony and this whole story is that at that moment, he deemed it fit to call me and let me know that he had made a mistake. That's like weird. Okay, so you've made a mistake. You are still in control to make yourself feel like, okay, I did well. You don't have to let your students know your mistake. But why did he have to call me? That's where I feel like God comes in. So you let me finish the story before I give the whole morale of the testimony. So what happened was that while I was standing there, he said, okay, usually when you... Yeah, so at this point, I went on to explain what he told me, which is actually my university's policy. So knowing what is good for me and my life, I'm decided not to put that out in the video. But he said a number of things about how, these things work in the background. Yes, so I decided to mute myself so that I won't end up in trouble when the devil decides to pick it and do his own thing. Yeah, just using wisdom. So later on, everything worked out, and let's continue with the rest of the story. So that everything adds up well. And I was just standing there and I was just thanking God, and I was like, okay. And I left. So the morale of the story for me was that God actually wanted me to see that he was working in my favor. He was the reason why everything was changed, and he wanted me to know that he's actually doing something. That's how come my lecturer had to call me, come and witness the whole thing that had happened, and the fact that he couldn't change this. I did not mention the lecturer's name, didn't mention the subject and everything because I don't want to be summoned. Yeah, so that was how I made an A instead of a B+, and I really thank God for that time. I remember that I used to make a number of proclamations. I used to say, I don't think I'm those type of people that have those testimonies about the fact that they open their MIS web. Okay, so those who didn't go to the University of Ghana, MIS web is where all our results are. So you open your MIS web and then you realize that you originally had a D, but then it had changed to an A by some miraculous happening. And I used to make those proclamations, like I know I'm not that type of person, kind of thing. One day I felt like the Holy Spirit just spoke to me, and he was like, you are who you say you are. You are not different from what you believe you are in your heart and in your mind. And so if you think you're not that type of person, you will not receive those type of happenings. And as at that moment, I was like, wow, okay, so I've actually been stopping my miraculous happenings. And I told myself that I am never, ever, ever in my life going to make such a proclamation again. So from that time I stopped that, and I was like, God, I believe you. I believe you can do strange things. I believe you can shock me with miracles, things that I don't expect and all. I'm going to draw my brows. I use a Miss Loretta pencil. I'm using my spoolie and concealer brush that I also got from BS-Marshal. So I'm going to look into the actual mirror this time. Yeah, so I stopped saying that I had my miracles happen. That moves me to another topic, the words of our mouth. As Christians, and I mean anyone, words are powerful. If you actually believe that when someone curses you, it can take roots and your whole life can change, why don't you believe that if you say positive things, it can take roots and your whole life can change? I really believe in the power of words. And for a segment like me, it's hard. It's hard not to talk. Yeah, and I feel like over the years, God has helped me to be able to bridle my tongue, to bridle my tongue to an extent in what I say and when I say it, because I have to be careful, because words are powerful. So I'd say that we should engage the power of words by saying positive things into the atmosphere and allow God and his angelic messengers to make them come to pass on our behalf. Yeah, so these are my brows. Haven't concealed them yet. I still go in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn. And I conceal under my brows with the concealing of my brows. Okay, I have a standard way, but to an extent, every day I improve upon it. When I go to the top, I try to just put dots of it on the lines at the parts where I would, conceal. Yeah, so lots of people see that people do their brows before they start their makeup, but I do mine in the inverse way. I'll explain that in a bit. So yes, done with both brows. I use my concealer buffer that I also got from Yoshi Cosmetics to blend the excess concealer. I'll finish that. So I went ahead and I finished the brows of camera. Now I'm going to take my powder brush again and clean my setting powder. So we've spoken about a number of things in this video. I hope you've been blessed. What else? What is the last thing we should speak about? Because by now the boys are bored today. Because everything seems all make-up-y. So I don't know what to talk about. And my contour line seems a little big, so I'm going to take my setting powder and just clean that up with my wedge. So I went ahead and I finished it, but I was feeling lazy to dress, so this is all I got. I would do better next time, so subscribe, like, share, and I hope you enjoyed this video.